Good morning and welcome to your PrimetimeSports.com. We are live for another edition of Double G Sports Talk Saturday right here from Batten's Donuts and Bakery in Paragould Plaza. I'm Dave Grimm, and this is Clifton.
Not a big problem. See, everything's good. Beautiful Saturday morning. Batten's Donuts got 4 great guests.
And high school regular football season has come to an end.
And we're geared up for basketball.
That's right.
We've already had people in this morning wanting to know what games we're doing.
And we got a complete list of our games on yourprimetimesports.com. Click events on our menu, and you'll see our entire list of games. Now, I will tell you this. The next game that you see scheduled on there, I haven't pulled it off yet, it is canceled. It's conflicting with our cameraman and with election day and with all
David Grimm, because he's a big politician.
No. I would make it if we had a cameraman. I'd go ahead and do it.
Oh, it was okay.
It's all right.
You asked me, and I approved it and everything. We don't have a cameraman. Everybody's out that night, so no big deal.
So anyway, when you go on there and look at that schedule, our next game will be Friday from Brooklyn High School when the Wynne Yellowjackets come to town. And they're going to be short-staffed, the Wynne Yellowjackets are, because their football team, with I'm sure a few basketball players on it, will be playing in the high school state playoffs. They've got the number 1 seed from the East.
And that might be the only reason that Bobby scheduled that game.
Yeah, so they will be short-staffed. So we'll have that game for you live on yourprimetimesports.com Friday night. We've got we got a list of guests for you, a mile long. Great guests coming in for you this morning. First guest is going to be the Paragould head football coach, Tim Branum. And, well, I tell you what, we hope he makes it in. The Paragould Rams had the playoffs in their hand last night, and like an incomplete pass, they just couldn't haul it in.
Not what we were hoping for, and, we've had Coach Branum on a few times this year, and when I texted him earlier in the week, told him, good things were happening at Paragould, we'd love to have you on. And he was gracious enough to say yes, what time, and we coordinated all of that, and really was hoping to talk to him this morning about getting the bell back from crosstown rivals and heading to the playoffs for the first time in several years. But you know what? Like I said last night, he's got to be proud of the kids and his accomplishments and some of the things that they strive for this year.
Well, they're making advances every year under Coach Branum.
Right.
Last year, they didn't win a game last year?
No, they won 1.
Won 1? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, this year they won 3, and 2 of those were conference matchups, and they were in a couple of other conference games, and they were looking at the playoffs going into last night's game with Greene County Tech.
Yeah, what's funny about that, you told me last night that you ran into Coach Hicks and AD from Blytheville, and he didn't want us to do any more of their games because they lose every time we put them on live.
We've done 3 Blytheville games. They lost all 3.
Paragould wants us there because they win every time we show up, and Blytheville doesn't. So
that's the way it works out sometimes.
Sure.
I mean, it's not got anything to do with us.
No.
We don't think. But that's the way it has worked out this year. Blytheville on 3 times this year, lost all 3. Paragould, 2 conference games that they had with us this year, won them both.
BB and Blytheville.
So
double B's.
Double B's, that's right. The Paragould Rams, as we said, lost last night to the Greene County Tech Eagles 36-27. It was tied a couple of different times, very close all the way through. Greene County Tech held them off and pulled away in the end and spoiled the playoff bid. And literally it was in their hands because the other things that needed to happen last night for Paragould to get into the playoffs happened. Those things are Nettleton losing to Wynne, and that was a close game. Nettleton led most of the night. Wynne came out on top 23-17 in that game.
And Beebe lost, and they backed their way in.
And Beebe lost to Batesville. That was the other thing that needed to happen for Paragould to get in should they win against Greene County Tech. And they lost big. It was 45-14 last night in Batesville, and Beebe still made the playoffs because of the Paragould loss. So they are the number 4 seed. The number 3 seed, Forrest City. We had them live against Blytheville last night, 33-6, the final score in that one. And they got in as the 3 seed. Of course, Wynne had the number 1 seed already sewed up, and Batesville had the number 2 seed already in hand. So we have the brackets for the 5A state tournament posted on our Facebook and Twitter. And I put those up late last night after we rolled in from Forrest City. And I will tell you that Wynne has home field advantage throughout the playoffs. The road to the state championship goes through Wynne, Arkansas this year. The only time they will not play at Wynne is if they make it to the championship game and play at War Memorial Stadium.
I may have to travel down to Wynne one Friday night.
Well, we got basketball games on all those Friday nights.
You might can handle that by yourself.
Okay. All right. Well, Wynne will host Watson Chapel, the 4 seed from the South, the 5A South Conference. And then the Batesville Pioneers, all the way down on the other side of the bracket, will host the school where I went to elementary school, Hot Springs Lakeside. That's where me and Jay Cook went to elementary school.
Speaking of Coach Cook, hopefully next week we can do a basketball show with all 4 of our coaches.
We're working on that. So Batesville will host Hot Springs Lakeside. Now, the other 2 5A East teams will be on the road. Forrest City travels to the thriving metropolis of Whitehall, Arkansas, which is actually inside Pine Bluff. And then Beebe, who backed their way into the playoffs, their prize is the Camden Fairview. I can't remember their name. It's not Cardinals.
Yes, it is.
Is it Cardinals? Camden Fairview Cardinals? Okay. We sure? Okay.
Yeah, because several years ago, back in 06 or somewhere in there, when they were in the basketball state playoffs, there was a gentleman gave me a beautiful white with red bill hat that had a cardinal on it. That was their baseball team caps.
Now, Pine Bluff Dollarway is the Cardinals.
This was Camden Fairview.
Okay.
They're red and white.
Okay. Well, they're in the playoffs. They are the team that everyone on the south half of the state expects to win the state championship. Everybody in the north half expects Wynne to win it, and they're headed for a showdown in the semifinals. They're in the same side of the bracket and cannot meet for a state championship. My prediction, with this bracket in front of us, I'm going to go ahead and say it right now, I predict that Wynne will play Batesville for an all-East championship game in Little Rock.
Okay.
That's my prediction. You got anything you want to look at on that bracket and predict?
I'm not making
a
prediction.
No predictions?
No, I'm not sticking myself out there like that.
I don't care. I do it all the time. So those are the brackets, the rest of the games, the rest of the matchups on the 5A state bracket. You can see those on our Facebook page. It's first or second thing on the Facebook page. Posted that last night. Now,
boy, you were up late. We didn't even roll in till midnight last night.
That's right.
Wow.
And I stayed up till about 2 working on things.
You must have been geared up on your energy juice.
I just had Mountain Dew last night. I didn't drink any energy drinks.
All right.
So that's on the Facebook. Our guests this morning, we've got some great ones for you. Told you about Coach Branum coming in first. Second guest will be Monica Specking, the international figure bodybuilding pro. And she will be the second guest. She's on her way to, in fact, she's in the air right now. She is actually on her way to New York. She's starting a new life there. New
career.
She
new has
boyfriend.
Her fiancé there.
And so we take this interview with her a few days ago.
You can get on her Facebook page, and she keeps it posted pretty good.
And she is got lots of things in front of her, and they begin in New York City, and that's where she's on her way to right now.
And I think I've got to get her a YourPrimetimeSports.com tank top.
She wants a YPTS tank top.
I'm going to send her a message, and I'm going to ask her what size, what style, and
what
color.
You're going to ask a woman what size they wear? Really? That may not work out too good. You know?
Well, I don't know if she needs an extra small or a small or I don't know.
Good save. Good save.
No, I know you don't. Listen, I've been around a lot longer than you. Don't ask a woman how much she weighs or what her age is.
That's right. That's right. Well, she had mentioned she saw my work shirt, and she said, I need a tank top with that on it. I said, I'll see what I can do.
Hey, I need your PrimetimeSports.com logo in New York City.
That'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, she'd be wearing that in the workout gyms up there. And
we made the big time.
Yeah, so we'll see what we can do about that, Monica. I know that she's not watching it live right now, but she'll watch it on our channel later on.
Yeah.
On the replay. So she's guest number 2 from the taped interview that we did with her a few days ago. Guest number 3 is second guest in our Legends series. In fact, he's in here having coffee right now, just chilling. It's Dick Clay, the former sports director of Region 8 News, KAIT. He'll be our guest number 3. Final guest of the morning will be the man of the hour in the 5A East, the head coach of the Wynne Yellowjackets, on their way to the playoffs with that #1 seed from the East. That's Chris Hill, and he'll be in as our final guest of the day. I don't know how in the world you got him to drive all the way from Wynne to sit in a donut shop with us for a half hour.
You wonder how I do a lot of things.
I do. So we are going to take a
personality, my friend.
Is Coach Branum here?
No, I have not seen Coach Branum yet.
Wow. Well, I've run out of ways to vamp. We're going to take a long break.
You know that Coach Branum, Coach Bolin, some of these area coaches that we have on quite often, they get here right before they go on.
Well,
so don't give up yet.
That's okay. He's scheduled to. What time did you have him scheduled to?
8:45.
8:45. Okay, well that's going to work out perfect. If he hits 8:45, we will have him here right on time. If we take this long break right now.
How long a break are you going to take?
4 minutes, 15 seconds.
4 minutes and 15 seconds. Okay, roll it.
Okay, we'll be right back on your PrimetimeSports.com.
You get big time savings and hometown service. Always a big Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, and Ram. At Baird, there's a difference you will clearly see. You're always a VIP. Saving service, great selection too. Baird does it all for you.
At First National Bank, you have convenience right at your fingertips. And instant buying power. It's so easy. And when you're on the go, well, you know what to do. We understand the importance of now. First National Bank, the work bank for working people.
When you feel bad and it's after regular office hours, turn to CR Doc. Here's Dr. Roger Cagle.
At CR Doc, we offer more than the standard family medicine practice. We have extended office hours with on-site lab and x-ray, as well as casting and suturing capabilities, giving you an alternative to those crowded emergency rooms for all your minor injuries and accidents that need fast, complete medical attention. Appointments are available but not necessary.
CR Doc in the King Carroll Suites on West Kings Highway in Paragould in front of Walmart.
At CR Doc, we are patient people.
Retirement? It's never looked so good. Welcome to Chateau on the Ridge Assisted Living in Paragould, Arkansas. Say hello to fine dining and down-home living, where around-the-clock security and peace of mind are always at your fingertips. And front row seats to the best shows, they're included. We call it Chateau on the Ridge. You can call it home. Call or visit today to get the whole scoop.
Mr. T's Riverside Cafe in Cardinal, Missouri for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Open 7 days a week, 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. Join us after the game for a pizza or our delicious hickory smoked barbecue. Just a short drive across the Kahlua-colored waters of the St. Francis River at the Arkansas-Missouri state line in the scenic resort town of Cardinal, Missouri.
Mr. T's at Riverside.
Cavanaugh Kia's pre-owned superstore. Your one-stop car shop to find the vehicle you deserve. Every make and model is right here on our lot. Chevy, Ford, Toyota, Nissan, Lincoln, Cadillac, and more. With a huge selection of cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs. We also have a great variety of certified pre-owned Kias with America's best warranty. 10 years, 100,000 miles. You'll never have to drive anywhere else than Cavanaugh Kia's pre-owned superstore. Visit us today on Stadium Boulevard, just south of the bypass. Or online at CavanaughKia.com.
We opened our maximum free checking account online. It took less than 15 minutes.
With Focus Bank, you can easily open your maximum free checking or Max Savers account online. And with mobile banking, you'll always stay in control. Whether you're looking for a free checking account, an interest-bearing account, or a rewards checking account, Focus Bank has a solution for you.
Mobile banking with Focus Bank makes our life easier.
Visit FocusBank.com and sign up for a new account with mobile banking today.
Hi, I'm Metal Rock Lemon. And when I'm in Northeast Arkansas, when I watch sports, I watch all my sports on YourPrimetimeSports.com. You should too.
Welcome Welcome back to your PrimetimeSports.com. Our first guest is with me right now. This is Coach Tim Branum, the head coach of the Paragould Rams. And as you know, we talked about this earlier last night. They lost to Greene County Tech 36-27. And that was the game that could have propelled them into the playoffs, and this did not work out. And we appreciate you coming in this morning anyway, Coach. Had to be a long night last night.
Well, it was. It was a tough one, for our kids and our whole program. And, we've been on the wrong side of this game for 3 or 4 years, and, our kids had put themselves in position to do some things we hadn't done in a while, and it just didn't work out for us.
So we were not at the game. We were covering the Forrest City Blytheville game last night, another game with playoff implications. And so we were getting reports from your game all throughout the night, tied with them at several points during the night, then down by a point, and then they pulled away there at the end. How'd the night progress for you guys?
Well, we missed an opportunity in the first half, I think, that came back to haunt us. We missed an opportunity in the red zone. With a score tied 14-14, and Tech kids, to their credit, made a couple of good plays, and we go to half 14-14, and then we get on the wrong side of it, and they go up 7. We're able to come back and score and tie it at 21, and then they go up 28-21. We're able to come back, and we missed the extra point, and puts us a point down. I think about 5.5 minutes left to go in the game, and don't ever get the ball back till we're down 9.
Wow. Okay, so was anybody updating you during the course of the night as to the other 2 football games that were involved in the playoff mixture with you guys? I'm sure they were announcing the scores, but that was the furthest thing. We're not worried about the other 2 scores. The reward for this was a trip to Camden Fairview play the 5th-ranked team in the state overall, not just in 5A. So that was the furthest thing from our mind, was what was going on anywhere else. Okay, so we were asking this question last night. We did not know the answer to it. Last week when we had you guys at Blytheville, and y'all won that game, Dylan Hoggard went down with an injury in about the late 3rd quarter. Was he back last night? He played, but Dylan wasn't himself. What a gutsy kid. I mean, he didn't practice till Thursday. He ran through about 12 plays on Thursday, and we braced him up and taped him up, and man, he gave a gallant effort, but he just, he wasn't 100%. So what were the bright points last night for your team? Who stood out and performed for you last night? Michael Stidham and Dexter Thompson had a big night. Dexter had 8 or 9 catches, one for a touchdown for about 140 yards, and Jordan Sayre had 140-something yards rushing on about 17 carries. So, those were the bright spots offensively. Defensively, we're just never really able. We forced them to punt a couple times, but we're never really able to. They spread us out. We knew they could do that, and they're much different than playing Blytheville or BB they spread us out and made us play in space, and that's been our Achilles heel. So. They got a good football team. I mean, they go to BB, could easily won that game. They could easily beat Blytheville or Forrest City. They could be sitting there with 4 or 5 conference wins real easy, and had a couple of tough things that didn't work out for them. So a lot better football team than what their record indicated. Okay, so obviously now the season is over. How quickly do you start working on next season? Do you take any kind of a break at all before you start working on conditioning for next season? Yeah, we'll give the kids a week or so off, and just let them go home when the bell rings, and let them kind of, we'll probably get to Thanksgiving before we do anything major. Give them a couple of weeks where they just can leave at the bell and kind of just forget about football for a while. Are there any other players that during the course of the year have been leaders on the team that have taken the team and put them on their back and really led the team against adversity that you want to mention here right at the end of the season? Well, I hate to name names. I mean, the obvious ones are different positions in football lend themselves to that more than others. And it's usually the running backs and the quarterback and the receivers. And if you got a real dominant
couple of defensive guys. You know, those are easy to spot, but the two that stick out in my mind are two seniors, Aaron Wilkins and Tyler Heston, have been the two guys that maybe the average fan doesn't notice on a Friday night basis. Is those guys, we've run behind those guys probably 90% of the time, and you know, they've been the two guys that really led our team and were the senior leadership.
Well, Coach, we know it's a kind of a tough thing to come in and talk to the media after a loss like last night's loss. If there's, you know, this is the last time before next football season that we'll probably see you on Double G. If there's anything else, any other kind of a message or thing that you want to impart upon the fans before next season, this would be the time.
And right now, I'm just I'm kind of in a fog right now. I really hadn't given that much thought, and well, I mean,
we'll talk to you again preseason prior to next season.
Sure,
but you know, you got a lot of people coming back.
I couldn't tell you anything right now. I don't know what I'd tell you.
I got you.
I know this: we got a lot of great kids, and they worked awfully hard, and a couple of stretches in our season could have folded the tent and could have said, you know, we just can't get over the hump, but they did, and they battled, and you know, went to Blytheville, won a big football game to keep themselves in the hunt, and that's the character of our kids, and that's what I'm most proud of. Yeah, we're all hurting over this loss, and we hurt over all of them. I mean, it just happens to be the last one, and it ends kids' careers, and it's a little tougher to take sometimes, but we got great kids, great character, and you know, I'm awfully proud of them.
Well, the key thing, and this is what we said a while ago, every year under you as the head coach, the team has gotten just a little bit better and just a little bit. So the program is working its way forward. Well,
you know, I think a lot of times in high school football, you know, it's one thing to have a college program and you be able to go out and recruit those kids and build off of that. But in high school, a lot of times, sometimes your building process is based on what type of kids and what type of athletes you got at that time. It's not like you're going out and recruiting them. And but I do think our kids, and you know, I do think our kids understand what we have to do to have a chance, and they've fought to do that, and they're working to get better, and I think our program, although certainly can't back this up with wins and losses, but our kids, I think, have always competed and always play hard and practice hard, and you know, they don't give up on us, and we hadn't given up on them. So you know, I think there's a lot of good things going on there. Just right now, it's not wins and losses.
Well, Coach, we certainly appreciate you making the drive from Jonesboro to come and be with us this morning on Double G Sports Talk Saturday. So that's going to do it for this segment.
You get big time savings and hometown service. Always a big Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, and Ram. At Baird, there's a difference you will clearly see. You're always a VIP. Saving service, great selection too. Baird does it all for you.
At First National Bank, you have convenience right at your fingertips. And instant buying power. It's so easy. And when you're on the go, well, you know what to do. We understand the importance of now. First National Bank, the working bank for working people.
When you feel bad and it's after regular office hours, turn to CR Doc. Here's Dr. Roger Cagle.
At CR Doc, we offer more than the standard family medicine practice. We have extended office hours with on-site lab and x-ray, as well as casting and suturing capabilities, giving you an alternative to those crowded emergency rooms for all your minor injuries and accidents that need fast, complete medical attention. Appointments are available but not necessary.
CR Doc in the King Carroll Suites on West Kings Highway in Paragould in front of Walmart.
At CR Doc, we are patient people.
Retirement? It's never looked so good. Welcome to Chateau on the Ridge Assisted Living in Paragould, Arkansas. Say hello to fine dining and down-home living, where around-the-clock security and peace of mind are always at your fingertips. And front row seats to the best shows, they're included. We call it Chateau on the Ridge. You can call it home. Call or visit today to get the whole scoop.
Mr. T's Riverside Cafe in Cardinal, Missouri for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Open 7 days a week, 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. Join us after the game for a pizza or our delicious hickory smoked barbecue, just a short drive across the Kahlua-colored waters of the St. Francis River at the Arkansas-Missouri state line in the scenic resort town of Cardinal, Missouri.
Mr. T's at Riverside.
Cavanaugh Kia's pre-owned superstore. Your one-stop car shop to find the vehicle you deserve. Every make and model is right here on our lot. Chevy, Ford, Toyota, Nissan, Lincoln, Cadillac, and more. With a huge selection of cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs. We also have a great variety of certified pre-owned Kias with America's best warranty, 10 years, 100,000 miles. You'll never have to drive anywhere else than Cavanaugh Kia's pre-owned superstore. Visit us today on Stadium Boulevard, just south of the bypass, or online at CavanaughKia.com.
We opened our maximum free checking account online. It took less than 15 minutes.
With Focus Bank, you can easily open your maximum free checking or Max Savers account online. And with mobile banking, you'll always stay in control. Whether you're looking for a free checking account, an interest-bearing account, or a rewards checking account, Focus Bank has a solution for you.
Mobile banking with Focus Bank makes our life easier.
Visit FocusBank.com and sign up for a new account with mobile banking today.
Hi, I'm Middle Rock Lemon. And when I'm in Northeast Arkansas, when I watch sports, I watch all my sports on YourPrimeTimeSports.com. You should too.
Welcome back to YourPrimeTimeSports.com. Now on, I guess it was Wednesday, yeah, I got to sit down with Paragould's own Monica Specking. She is a professional bodybuilder, IFBB, International Federation of Bodybuilding, and she is in the fitness, it is fitness.
She's a stylist.
What he said. And
she doesn't bulk up or get real bulky and everything. She's it's like a piece of sculpture.
Okay.
She's
well,
beautifully chiseled.
We've had her on the show before, but it was when we were still radio, Your Primetime Sports Radio. This was our first and only, it appears, opportunity to get her on Your Primetime Sports Television because she has moved away. In fact, since we talked to her, she has gotten on a plane. She's in the air right now on her way to New York.
We don't want to say it'll be our last opportunity because she has
for a while.
She has family here.
That's true. Last opportunity for a while.
What was really neat was we pre-recorded this, and then she did a lot of workout things showing how to do certain lifts or whatever.
Well, that was the project that she was working on. I don't have access to that.
Oh, you don't have? Okay.
But that was a project that she was working on for her future sponsor, and you'll see more about that in the interview. So
it's just nice that she asked us to do that for her.
Yeah, and we appreciate her coming on one more time before she headed out for her new life in the Big Apple. So we are going to play that interview for you right now. This is Monica Specking. Welcome back to YourPrimetimeSports.com. Our next guest today is Monica Specking, the competitor in the International Federation of Bodybuilders. She's from right here in Paragould, Greene County Tech graduate. We've had her on Your Primetime Sports Radio in the past. This is the first time we've been able to get her to sit with us for Your Primetime Sports TV, and we're doing that quick because you're about to move to New York.
Yes, in like 3 days.
Yeah, 3 days. You're moving away. Yeah. Well, I guess there's more opportunities for you in your sport in New York than there are here.
Well, definitely there are, but the main reason I'm going is for personal reasons. You know, my boyfriend lives there. So.
Okay. All right. Now the truth comes out. All right. So the last time we talked to you, about a little less than a year ago, you were getting ready for the great big competition. You had to qualify for it and then make it to the Olympia. All right. So you had to qualify by winning another competition, which you did.
Yes. Well, because they changed the rules from last year. Usually, in the past, you know, it was the top 3 from a pro show would qualify for the Olympia. So they changed the rules a little bit, made it a little harder. You actually had to win a pro show.
You had to win it.
Yes. And, you know, they changed a few things, and they had some point qualifications. Like if you did a bunch of shows and you racked up some points there at the end closer to the Olympia, that, you know, some other girls got to, you know, participate. But, yeah, it's no longer the top 3. It's the the first place.
Okay, but you did that?
Yes.
At which one?
The Optimum Classic Pro in Shreveport, Louisiana.
Okay.
May 12th.
Okay. Yeah, you talked about that one, I believe, a little bit the last time we were on, and you won the thing.
Yes.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
And here's my ring, actually, that I
you got
won.
this is like the championship ring of that.
Yes.
Look at that. Can you get in on that?
It says Fit for Life.
Fit for Life. That is awesome. Championship ring. We got a champion right here in Greene County. Of course, she's leaving. She's bailing on us. That's okay. So that after that one, you had another one in New York. Is that right?
Yes, I had the New York Pro, which is a very prestigious show. Also, 1 week later, and the biggest reason I wanted to do that was to go to New York to see my boyfriend and his family. But it was right there after the Optimum Classic, so I was like, hey, I'm in shape. I got to do it. So I actually placed 4th, which was very good, for that show.
4th in the New York, the big New York
Pro
thing. Oh wow!
Yeah.
And
I
that
was happy with that and how I came in. And
that was before Olympia, also.
Yes.
Olympia was after that.
Olympia is always in September.
Okay.
This year it was the last weekend in September. It's always in Vegas. So after the New York Pro, I stayed a little bit longer, to visit with my boyfriend and his family, and took a few weeks off the diet.
Uh-oh.
And then, I started, when I came back home, started, training for the Olympia.
Okay. So and you did it. You went to the Olympia in Vegas, and
I placed 15th.
15th out of how many? Is that like a lot?
Well,
of
there's
people?
actually 26 girls, I think. 26. Don't quote me, but I think around there. But it's all the girls that have won a pro show in the past year, or got points to qualify. So, I was with the best of the best.
Yeah.
Obviously, the Olympia is the best in the world, competing against each other. So I had a great time. I'm proud of how I came in. My coach said I wouldn't have changed a thing how you came in, because he said, I totally improved from Shreveport and the New York Pro. So
you're just making gradual improvements in your sport, and you're placing higher and higher. I guess the New York show is obviously a bigger show than the Shreveport show.
It was a little bigger. There was more competitors, it's in New York. So,
exactly, yeah.
But, also Shreveport was the first pro show I'd ever won, so that was very important. And
so now you have shows coming up?
Well, I decided, actually, I was thinking about doing the Kentucky show November 3rd, and so I would have actually had to leave today to do that. So I decided after the Olympia that I needed to take a little break, because I've just been going hard for so long, and that's hard on your body. You need a little break every now and then. And last year was really hard on me. I did 6 shows because it was my first pro year, and I talked to you a little bit about that when we did the radio interview, how it was just so hard on me, and and it just killed my body. So
well, how old are you now?
I just turned 28 this month.
You're not planning on quitting doing this anytime soon, are you?
This is just the beginning.
Okay, all right.
Because well, I decided I'm going to take the rest of the year off of competing, and enjoy the holidays with my boyfriend and his family, and
so
of
first
course
of
I'll
the
be
year,
training, and then probably in January I'll get back with my coach Kim Odo, which he works with a lot of the top pros.
He's in New York, right?
No, he's in California. He's in Temecula.
Well, now wait a minute. You're going to move to New York knowing your coach is all the way on the
trains
opposite
people
end of the
from
world.
everywhere. He knows what he's doing. He's really good. And,
okay.
We communicate through phone and email, and he goes to the shows, and I'm really confident in what he has to bring in, to get me in my best shape possible.
And you also have, I just found out about this the other day, for the first time ever, a pro sponsor.
Okay. I don't want to talk all about this. Is very new.
Is it not? Is it not public yet?
Well, let me just say, for the Olympia, I got a great opportunity, for Pro Labs and MRI, to work the booth at the Olympia. Which at the Olympia, usually you compete in one day. You do prejudging in the morning, you do your finals at night. Well, it's a 2-day thing at the Olympia. Figure was the only division that had their prejudging Friday. Well, this of all the girls, I'm saying, because there's women bodybuilding, fitness, figure, and bikini. So we had our prejudging Friday morning, and then we had to wait until Saturday night for our finals.
No kidding.
So I had, a lot going on, but
lot
I was
of
still
dead space
able,
in there,
I was still able to, work the booth a couple hours Saturday morning for Pro Labs, and I loved everyone. I had a great time meeting all the fans, and it was just a fun time. So they recently got back in touch with me, and they, she sent an email saying that she wanted all the athletes to do a little project and send some video clips of us giving workout tips and whatnot. So I was like, she's sending this to all the athletes, so I guess that means maybe they want to bring me on as a new athlete.
Right.
So it's not final or anything, but they haven't presented me with the contract, but I think I'll be
You got your foot in the door. You're almost there.
Yes, this is what I've been waiting for, for the past 5 years. So I'll have the opportunity to work with a great team, get sponsored, and get a little help with my competing, expenses and all that.
Right, sure.
So,
well, it's not a cheap thing to do. You got a lot of travel, and
and
well, you know how much it costs.
Oh yeah. But she also said you'll have a lot more opportunity in New York to do things for the company, and so I'm excited about that to see what that's going to bring. So.
Okay, so you're moving to New York. You're going to spend the holidays with your boyfriend is the correct term to use in this. Okay, boyfriend, and then in January you're going to start getting ready to compete again.
Well, I'm going to get with my coach. I'm going to be doing some heavy lifting this winter, and trying to add a little bit of size to, I want to improve my back, and just, little work on my posing. That was one thing I think I really need to work on, because in my eyes, I think, I presented, I had a good package on stage, but posing is very important when it comes to competing, and I think that that's one thing I need to practice on, is showing off what I've got, because I think I've got what I need, but I just need to show it off better.
Well, surely they judge you on that kind of stuff. That's one of the categories of when they're judging you for the tone and all the different things. And posing is one of the things they judge you on as well.
It's a total package.
Yeah.
So, I'm good. I'm just gonna do some heavy lifting this winter, and then get back with Kimoto in January and start a prep. Typically it's going to be like a 12-week, since I have experience and I have a good foundation, usually it's a 12-week diet, but it depends on how off you get. Sometimes I like to start a little earlier, just because it takes me about 2 weeks to kind of get adjusted into the diet from transitioning, from just every day.
So what's the first competition that you are eyeballing right now in 2013?
This is my goal. Around in May again, there's like 4 shows around that time, and my coach suggested, that I do a couple one right after the other instead of doing a show, waiting a month, doing a show. That was really hard on my body. So I'm going to try to knock out like a couple in a row. So I'm going to possibly do Shreveport again. And New York
returning champion.
Yes,
you got to show up.
My title.
Exactly.
So that's a possibility. And it's, easy it's not that far of a drive, 5 or 6 hours. So maybe some family or you guys come up there and cheer me on.
Maybe we can come down and they let us film a little bit of it. Yeah, that'd be great.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then, the New York Pro, obviously, I'll be living in New York, so I'll do that. And there's also the California Pro. And there's one other, I think, the Pittsburgh Pro. So those are 4 shows I'm eyeing that I'm, possibly going to do. But it also depends on, I need to go to New York and get adjusted to the lifestyle,
And you're leaving in 3 days.
Oh my gosh, I have so much to do, don't remind me.
Well, you spend a lot of time right here where we are at in Anytime Fitness, which is next door to where we do our Saturday morning show.
Donut shop.
Batten's Donuts and Bakery is right on the other side of that wall right there.
I just thought that was too funny. That's where we did our radio interview last time.
And it's next door. We make jokes about that all the time. But
I do too.
The Anytime Fitness, this has been your home.
Yeah.
You're going to miss these guys, I'm sure, and they're going to miss you.
Definitely. I mean, it's definitely bittersweet leaving, but I mean, it's just that time in my life. It's time to do it, and I have great clients here. There's, the members here are great. It's probably, I'd say, the best gym in Paragould by far, and I just love the people, and I just, I build friendships with my clients, so it's going to be hard, but.
So have they got you do personal training here for clients locally here. Have you got them lined up with a new trainer, or?
Well, I do. I've had a couple of them say, it's not going to be the same without you. We don't want anyone else. But we talked about virtually training. You know, I don't know how that could be possible, but you know,
you could set up a Skype account and.
Yeah. Well, we had a couple ideas, but you know, we're going to keep in touch, and I'm going to keep motivating them, and I did, you know, get them in touch with 2 trainers, so they have the option. You know, to do consultations with them and see if they, because some people need someone over them pushing them, you know, so.
And you have that too with your, say his name again?
Kimoto.
Kimoto. Kimoto. 2 names.
Body by O
okay.
is his thing.
I got you. All right, so you're moving to New York. I said it again. I'm reminding you again.
Oh, my God.
You're moving to New York. You know, you've spent some time up there.
Yes.
So you're familiar with the terrain.
Somewhat.
Of New York.
I still have a lot to learn, I'm sure.
Well, I mean, you were born and raised here, right? Right here
yes.
in Paragould. So this is going to be a huge societal adjustment for you.
Everybody's saying that, like, wow, like, you know, you're going to the biggest city in the world from Arkansas. I'm like,
I was there once, and it, you know, it was cool and everything, but it didn't seem like it was intimidating or anything. How do you feel about New York? Is it intimidating to you?
Well, I'm confident because, you know, my boyfriend was born and raised there, and he's gonna, you know, show me the ropes, you know. But I've been in a huge city. Like, my mom's from Spain, and I remember 18, we went to visit my family. We were in Madrid, and obviously that's a huge city. So I remember just looking up the buildings. I'm like, wow, like, I love it here. Like, I love the big city environment. And every time I've been to New York, you know, I feel like, you know, I'm meant for a bigger city environment. Like, I love it there. And just, I mean, the deciding factor, I want to be with him. So, you know, I'm going to make it work.
Are you going to be in Manhattan?
Well, later. We're going to start in Staten Island, is where he's from, which, you know, is about 30 minutes outside of Manhattan.
It's a ferry ride.
Yeah. But he, you know, he works in the city, and I'm going to get a job in the city. So I have one kind of lined up for me there already. So, you know, we're going to eventually move into the city, but right now we'll be in Staten Island.
Now, your family,
saving up.
your family's all here in Paragould. How do they feel about you?
Well, obviously, my mom, she's a mom. She has worries and concerns, but ultimately she just wants me to be happy, and she, you know, she knows I'm going to do it. I'm a big girl, and that's what I want to do. So. Well,
and you're older than I thought you were. I thought you were younger than 28. I guess
I just turned 28 October 7th.
All that working out and the things that you do keep you looking
thank you for telling
young,
me
I guess. Yeah. Well, I really honestly thought you were, you know, early 20s.
Well, you see me a lot with my hair pulled up, no makeup on. I look like I'm 12 years old sometimes.
I even see you at karaoke. I saw you.
Oh
you
my
came
gosh.
to a karaoke show once.
Yes,
yeah. I can't remember. Did you sing? I think
no,
you
but
sang.
my little niece did, and my dad sang Bob Seger.
I remember that. Yeah, and
I have it on video.
He did a decent job too.
Yeah,
it was okay.
very good.
This is Monica Specking, folks, and you're going to be, if you pay attention to this particular sport, you're going to be hearing a lot more out of her. She's on her way, and she's going to say goodbye to us and move to New York. Well, as this airs Saturday morning, you'll be in the air.
Yes.
Okay.
So watch the show, and if you get an opportunity on Facebook, just go to my athlete page, Monica Specking, IFBB Pro, and just give me a like, show me your support. I'll have updates on there, videos, you know, so you can kind of track, you know, what I'm doing.
Monica, thank you so much for coming on one more time on your Primetime Sports. We're glad they got to see you this time rather than just listen to you on radio. And so they know who they're looking for when they look online for you now. Thanks for coming in. We'll be right back with more on Double G Sports Talk Saturday on yourprimetimesports.com.
Do you need insurance? If the answer is yes, let Chris Robinson and his staff at Chris Robinson's Insurance Agency handle your needs. Whether it's auto, life, business, or planning for your retirement, Chris Robinson's Insurance Agency is ready to serve you and your family. Come by Chris Robinson Insurance Agency, 1211 West Court Street in Paragould.
You get big-time savings and hometown service. Always a big Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, and Ram. At Baird, there's a difference you will clearly see. You're always a VIP. Saving service, great selection to
At First National Bank, you have convenience right at your fingertips. And instant buying power. It's so easy. And when you're on the go, well, you know what to do. We understand the importance of now. First National Bank, the working bank for working people.
When you feel bad and it's after regular office hours, turn to CR Doc. Here's Dr. Roger Cagle.
At CR Doc, we offer more than the standard family medicine practice. We have extended office hours with on-site lab and x-ray, as well as casting and suturing capabilities, giving you an alternative to those crowded emergency rooms for all your minor injuries and accidents that need fast, complete medical attention. Appointments are available but not necessary.
CR Doc in the King Carroll Suites on West Kings Highway in Paragould in front of Walmart.
At CR Doc, we are patient people.
Retirement? It's never looked so good. Welcome to Chateau on the Ridge Assisted Living in Paragould, Arkansas. Say hello to fine dining and down-home living, where around-the-clock security and peace of mind are always at your fingertips. And front row seats to the best shows, they're included. We call it Chateau on the Ridge. You can call it home. Call or visit today to get the whole scoop.
Mr. T's Riverside Cafe in Cardinal, Missouri for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Open 7 days a week, 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. Join us after the game for a pizza or our delicious hickory smoked barbecue, just a short drive across the Kahlua-colored waters of the St. Francis River at the Arkansas-Missouri state line in the scenic resort town of Cardinal, Missouri.
Mr. T's at Riverside.
Cavanaugh Kia's pre-owned superstore. Your one-stop car shop to find the vehicle you deserve. Every make and model is right here on our lot. Chevy, Ford, Toyota, Nissan, Lincoln, Cadillac, and more. With a huge selection of cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs. We also have a great variety of certified pre-owned Kias with America's best warranty, 10 years, 100,000 miles. You'll never have to drive anywhere else than Cavanaugh Kia's pre-owned superstore. Visit us today on Stadium Boulevard, just south of the bypass, or online at CavanaughKia.com.
We opened our maximum free checking account online. It took less than 15 minutes.
With Focus Bank, you can easily open your maximum free checking or max savers account online. And with mobile banking, you'll always stay in control. Whether you're looking for a free checking account, an interest-bearing account, or a rewards checking account, Focus Bank has a solution for you.
Mobile banking with Focus Bank makes our life easier.
Visit FocusBank.com and sign up for a new account with mobile banking today.
Hi, I'm Middle Rock Lemon. And when I'm in Northeast Arkansas, when I watch sports, I watch all my sports on YourPrimeTimeSports.com. You should too.
Welcome back to YourPrimetimeSports.com. This is going to be the second in our Legends series on Your Primetime Sports on Double G Sports Talk Saturday. And I'll tell you what, you couldn't ask for a better legend than this one right here. For a generation, the face and the voice of sports in Northeast Arkansas was Dick Clay. For the first 7 years of its existence, KAIT had no sports department. Then in 1970, Dick Clay was named the station's first sports director, a title he would hold for the next 28 years. You name it, he's covered it, including the 1973 tornado that ripped the roof off the Jonesboro High School gymnasium. His name became synonymous with sports at Arkansas State University. You couldn't say one without saying the other.
And I'll challenge the fans. Be there on Saturday. We'll see you next Sunday.
Most, if not all, of the methods used to cover sports at KAIT were revolutionized by Dick Clay. When he retired from KAIT in 1998, they came out of the woodwork to say goodbye.
All of us will miss him on the evening news because he was more than a colleague, an anchor. He was and will always remain a dear friend to all in Arkansas. Best wishes, Dick.
If y'all expect me to talk a long time, you're in trouble. I don't know what to say. It's been a heck of a day. And with that, I'm going to say that's sports.
He wasn't quite done, though. He went on to host his own sports magazine show about fishing and hunting and outdoors in northeast Arkansas.
We've been to Alaska.
The real world.
The real world, up and there with the bears and the mooses and the caribous.
Absolutely great, but it's always great to be back home.
Ain't that the truth?
There's some beautiful things up there in Alaska, but there's also some beautiful things right here, northeast Arkansas and Arkansas itself.
Ain't that
So see Arkansas first, and then go to Alaska.
good advice.
Oh. Come here. Baby, gotta get him in. I like that one pretty good, don't you?
I like it. Good fish.
Hold on. Here, now let's see where I got you. Right in the lip. That's right where they don't like it. You got me too. You like it, don't you?
Oh, yeah. Hang on there a minute.
He signed off for the final time on the Sports Magazine show in 2005.
And that wraps it up. As always, we hope you enjoyed the show as much as we enjoyed putting it all together.
So, that's who we have this morning. He's sitting right here next to me.
So he's aged some, it looks like.
No, in fact, people right here inside Batten's Donuts are recognizing you, and they're saying he hasn't aged a day. Dick Clay in here with us this morning.
The lady that told me that was awfully pretty. I'm going to tell you that, and I love her to death.
Well, she was sitting right over there. She said, I know that guy. I've seen. She recognized you.
She really did. And, you know, this Legends thing, though, it kind of grabs my head and it won't let it go, because Legends, I'm going to tell you a story, a little story about who's legendary and who's the big duck and all that kind of stuff. Back in 1992, they asked me and my wife if we would host a cruise, you know, in the Caribbean, and we were going to go along, and all the people from around that wanted to go with us would pay, and they'd go, and it'd be great. So we got a lot of people from northeast Arkansas, my viewing area. We went on this cruise, and about midway through the cruise, we found out that a mothership of this cruise ship had some kind of a problem, and they were going to put some of their people over on our ship. And we said, well, we got to pay a room, I'm sure. Anyway, the next morning, Pat and I went out and got in the sun and everything, and next to the pool, and we were sitting there. We were the only ones out there, and she said, well, I'm going to go on in. I said, okay. And I looked over and back. There was a man and his wife there, and the man, I said, that's Ted Williams. That is Ted Williams. And so Ted's wife left, and we were the only ones out there. And I said, Ted, you want to come over and talk? Yeah, because I had a shade there. So we're sitting there, me and Ted Williams, and I could not talk. I was frozen. I mean, you talking about legend. I mean, this is the greatest baseball player ever in all time, and he's sitting next to me. So I'm kind of, and by the time, here we go, this big duck, here we go. Some people from northeast Arkansas passed by. They said, hey, Dick, yeah, would you sign this with me? Steve, what do you mean? I'm signing the autograph. I give it to her. She goes on, and then the guy comes back and says, I want to take a picture of you and my wife. I said, fine. So I did that, and then another person came by a little later and said, Dick, I wish you'd sign this thing for me. And I said, fine. And I handed it to him. I'm sitting there next to Ted Williams, and they leave, and he said, "Who are you?"
I knew that was coming.
Well, you see what I'm talking about?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm telling you, the greatest man, the most famous man ever in sports, Ted Williams.
That's awesome.
And we sit there and talk for hours. He's a duck hunter, and we talked about hazing and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, I thought I'd throw that in there.
Well,
there's a legend for you.
I feel almost the same way because last week I got to talk to Metal Art Lemon.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm talking to you now, and next week I'm talking to Bill Dance.
Okay.
I'm lining up people who have been heroes to me in my job and in athletics, and so I feel the same way that you felt sitting next to Ted Williams on that cruise ship.
Well, do people know how tall you are?
Sometimes they can't tell.
This guy, no,
they don't want my autograph though.
Why?
No.
This is a big, tall guy, and hey, and what you're doing here, nobody knows anything about except you, I think.
Well,
this is amazing.
We don't want to talk about me. I want to talk about you.
Oh no, okay, go ahead.
This is your first experience. Do you want to wear headphones, or would you rather? Yes, you can wear headphones. Okay.
The man wants to wear headphones. Let him wear the
good
headphones here.
This is your first foray with internet television.
Yes, it is.
And what do you think so far?
I thought this is amazing. I couldn't imagine how you do that because we used to do television in a certain way, and this is indeed amazing. The ambiance here, it's just great. I mean, people coming in and they're not making enough noise to mess with you.
Right.
But it is really, really great, and all you got in here is great people.
Sure.
Seems like.
Absolutely.
This is really something.
We've been doing it here for we started out as internet radio. We've only recently made the shift this season to internet television, but we did the radio show from here too. We've done our show here. This will be the second year of doing the show here. Well, I don't have any volume. Hang on.
No volume.
Dick, in 2010, when I called Dave and asked him about doing this, he actually was way ahead of his time with Near Sports. And when I moved back to Springdale, I had this idea, and I told him when we had breakfast one morning, I said, now, in 5 years, we will be live television, and we will have a sports magazine. And he looked at me and he said, "Are you kidding me?" And I said, "No, that's my dream and that's my plan." Well, we did it in 2.5 years. So we're live TV now. The sports magazine's out. We had the football issue, the basketball issues coming out into this month.
Oh, this is going
covers
great.
The 5A East, the 8 teams in the 5A East.
Yeah.
So just give you a little history on that. That's where we're at today. So now this show's about you. Now you know about your primetime sports.
It's really about you because I'm just the old guy that is still rocking. But used to be there. Yeah.
I want to apologize for the camera a minute ago. Somebody come over here and shake my hand, and we knocked the camera.
Oh, that happens all the time.
So.
If that doesn't happen, you don't have a real honest thing.
Well, it's neat when people come over and hug your neck and shake your hand and all that
stuff.
We're
on the air.
That is great. This is a great thing here, folks. So. As a matter of fact, we did check it out, my wife and I.
Oh, yeah.
We did check it out this morning, and we were really amazed by it, really. So. Yeah, I'm happy to be on here.
Well, we're happy to have you on here. That's what. So you got a lot of stories to tell. You got more time to talk.
We got plenty of time, because both of our first two guests were kind of short, so we got lots of time with you this morning.
Don't ask me anything that causes my memory to go, what are you doing? My wife, okay? Because I am, 60-something, maybe 70-something.
Oh, okay. We may find out the true answer to that question before the end of the day.
Now, is your wife at home watching right now?
No, she will watch it later on.
Oh, okay. Yeah, y'all can watch it together.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, Pat.
Good.
She's the smart one of the
family. I got to meet Pat Friday or Thursday afternoon.
Good.
And without Pat, I'm telling you, I don't know if he'd be lost.
Well, I don't know what I'd do without him because I have a real job. This is just fun.
Yeah, this is my real job, so
See, this is ideal for guys like me.
Yeah.
This is ideal, and this is perfect for this venue. It is perfect.
Yeah.
Well, I want people to know, because you actually started at Channel 8 at KAIT before 1970. You were doing some some hither and yon work for them, doing writing copy and getting shots and stuff like that before there was even a sports department.
Well, you mentioned Pat. Pat was working out there as a traffic manager, which means that she was working and putting the commercials in a proper spot. And I was working on my master's degree in physical education at the time at Arkansas State. And what I was doing was just, they had no sports at all out there, so I was just trying to advise them just a little bit, and I was doing a little photographic work for them and making a little extra money there. And finally, the Hernwrights bought the thing. Bob said, we don't have any sports here. Can you do sports for us just part-time? And I said, yeah. So for a while, I was going to school, trying to get my master's. I was running a golf course, and I was doing this part-time. And I found out that I wasn't. And people that remember when I first started will remember that I wasn't very good at this part of it. No,
I don't believe that.
I was scared to death. I was scared to death. It was one of those deals where I think the first time I was up there, I went like, help me somebody or something like that. It was really, really, really bad. And a little later on, I found out that I could relax and go ahead and do it.
And of course, that was when you took over in 1970 as the sports director.
Yeah.
Did you imagine at that time that would take up nearly 30 years of your life from that point forward?
I loved it immediately loved it. Of course, I got a master's degree in physical education. I wanted to be a coach, and I knew a lot about sports, played everything, and just loved sports to death. I was a little bit confused about the way sports was going at that time. You know, sports, the announcers were all saying things and making themselves better than what the people were doing on the field. I mean, they were screaming things and doing, and I said, that is the wrong way to go. So I tried to change that a little bit, and make the people, the players, the stars instead of the guy that was talking about the play. So I was hoping that I could do that, and I think I finally accomplished that particular thing. Don't let Dick Clay be the star of this particular thing. Let the players be the stars, and I hope it did that. By the way, ASU basketball, I shot every home game that they ever played. And if you'll notice the highlights, if you could, notice the highlights, you'd find out that in basketball, they never missed a shot. Never missed it. I intended, I said, they ain't missing a shot at home, you know. And so just look back. You know, they never
look at his
missed
footage,
a shot.
and there's never a missed shot on there. So
that's it.
Well, we kind of have the same mission then, because that's where we're geared toward. Is we want to highlight the young people, the student athletes
that is great.
in high school. That's what the magazine's about. That's what the television's about. This is not about David and I. This is about young people that we want to promote and hopefully go to another level. People can watch from all around the world. Matter of fact, we have viewers in Australia, Germany, different places around the world. You know, so it's pretty cool stuff.
Oh, that is amazing, and it's great what you're doing, and that is fantastic, because it's all about the kids and the athletes and that's
the schools Yeah, that's what we try to do.
I want to just go over a list, because when you started, you actually started before 1970, like I said, part-time at the station. I want to go over a list of the major accomplishments that Arkansas State has made in their athletic program just during the time that you were there. You saw these things happen. You covered them happening as they were happening. And we'll start 1967. Arkansas State baseball had their best season ever in 1967 and made their first postseason run, 26-8-1. They have not had a season that good since 1967.
As a matter of fact, I can't remember who the coach was at that time.
I didn't look that up.
No, okay. but I remember the run, and they had some local. They had a lot of local athletes that were I think, say, some of the Wagners from over in Manila or wherever, and a bunch of local athletes that did really well, and they did have that. That was a good run for baseball at Arkansas State.
Who's the stadium named after?
Tomlinson.
Was
Kel Tomlinson.
Wasn't he the coach then? Wasn't he?
He
the
might have been the coach at that time.
Yeah.
Because that was just it was just before Johnson. Didn't Johnson come in behind?
Rich Johnson.
Rich Johnson.
Good
Yes.
friend of mine.
He was in the 70s.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you're remembering all this kind of stuff. See,
Thank
that's
you.
What I told you about that. But Ike was a heck of a guy. So was Rich. And it could have been Rich if it did that particular.
I think it was Tomlinson, and then Rich came in after him.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay, so 1970, your first year as the sports director, that was the year that Arkansas State won the national championship for football in small college division and went undefeated 11-0.
11-0, and that's one of the greatest seasons they've ever. As a matter of fact, that they've ever had. And that was Ellender's year, I believe. And Ellender was, as far as coaches rank, as far as the knowledge of football and all, Ellender coached the coaches as good as anybody ever did. And what he did, he's one of the first people. In those days, they didn't have much weight work. This is when they started to work in the heavy weights and overload, and I think that made the football team. And they also had some real good passing and catching in that, if I remember correctly. But they were the best in the nation at that time.
Only national championship Arkansas State has ever won. A couple of different milestones in 1974. They opened Indian Stadium, which is now Liberty Bank Stadium. That was the first year for the stadium. And they started women's basketball for the first time ever at Arkansas State. Also, that same year, 1974, you were there for that.
Absolutely, and they kept wondering what to name those. What are they going to call the Lady Indians? They ended up calling them Lady Indians, as a matter of fact. But there was a lot of. They said, well, let's don't call them Lady Indians. Let's do. And I can't remember who the first coach was, right offhand, but I remember that it took them about probably 5-6 years to get where they could actually beat somebody.
1975, Arkansas State had another 11-0 football season.
11-0 in 1975 was probably the best football team that they've had total.
Better than the national championship team.
I think so. Oh, yes. As far as the physical ability and everything, that was a better team, much better team. As a matter of fact, Arkansas State just kept getting better and better with the coaches.
1987, they built the Convocation Center. You've spent so many years broadcasting from old Indian Fieldhouse, and now all of a sudden there's this great big arena.
As a matter of fact, there are some people that are mad at me because I went out when they started moving the earth to that thing. I went out and shot. And every night I would come in and say, all right, they're moving some more earth out there, and report it. And I did that until they built the whole darn thing. And I had all of that film, and it's gone.
Oh, no.
Yes. There's a couple of athletic directors, and I won't even mention their name, that were mad at me for losing all that tape. Because, I mean, from the time they put the big machines out there to scrape it, until it got
so that footage doesn't exist in KAIT's archives at all?
No, not as far as I know.
Wow. Okay. No. Man. Well, in that same year...
Hey, people are going to get mad at me about that.
Yeah, they can get over it.
Yeah.
In that same year, in basketball, Arkansas State played Arkansas for the very first time in the NIT tournament. The NIT folks figured if Arkansas won't play Arkansas State by choice, we'll make them do it in the NIT.
Right.
And that game went to overtime. Arkansas State led that game most of the way.
And I will tell you this as a fan of Arkansas State, as opposed to a fan of Arkansas. Okay. Arkansas ripped us off on that deal right there. We had a foul, and you can look at the pictures.
The whole game is on YouTube. If you look for it.
Yeah, and you go to the foul they did not call. I can't remember the kid's name, but he got charged. If they had called a foul at that time, we would have won the game. And that's all I got to say about that.
So, well, that was another milestone. One more milestone I want to mention is when they opened.
Now, that one there brings back bad memories. Yes.
You were there, obviously. You were at the game.
Yes.
You were at all the games.
Yeah.
Here's his cliche, and that's all I have to say about that.
And then they opened the baseball stadium in 1993. Tomlinson Stadium opened, and that was a big thing at the time for the baseball team to have that nice of a stadium.
Well, absolutely, and the coaches really had to work on that. Rich Johnson was a coach at that time, I believe, and he did most of the work on it, really. And they finally named it Kell, because of George Kell and the Kell bunch over there to Kell Thompson Field. But it was a fine, it still is one of the best little baseball fields around. And they've had some good luck in baseball, but baseball is one of those things that you never know who's going to be, who you're facing. You might be facing Podunk, and Podunk all of a sudden got a guy can pitch, and he's got a good game, and you're going to lose. So it's baseball is just that way, especially in college and sometimes the small college. Yeah.
So when you think of all the different evolutionary changes that the Arkansas State athletic program has made over the course of its history, they made more changes and more giant leaps forward in their athletic program while you were there to cover it than they have at any other point in history.
Yes, because I was just almost part of that history, because I was a guy that was shooting the games for the coaches most of that time from the top, and later on when we started doing coaching shows, which was later on, I shot from the sideline, and I had some people shoot from the top. Then I would come in and put it all together. It'd take me all night, and then we'd do the show the next morning. And I did that for, seems like 100 years.
Well, I mean, everybody, you were the face of the entire sports generation for Northeast Arkansas. If it was sports, it came through you. Everybody knows who you are.
Well, I hope what we tried to do is to emphasize, and we just discussed it a while ago, about emphasize the people, the players themselves, as opposed to anything else. And the main thing was that we didn't put anything really, really bad. If a guy had a terrible shot or a terrible foul or something like that, we didn't put that in there. And we tried to cover everybody, and you can't do it, but you've got to try.
Well, we've got a lot more to talk about with Dick Clay. We're going to take our one and only break during this segment. We'll be back in a couple of minutes with more from Dick Clay on YourPrimetimeSports.com.
You get big-time savings and hometown service. Always a bed, Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, and Ram. At Bed, there's a difference you will clearly see. You're always a VIP.
My questions are arising as
Saving service, great selection too. Bed does it all for you.
Nah, it's not even
Retirement?
It's
never looked so good. Welcome to Chateau on the Ridge Assisted Living in Paragould, Arkansas. Say hello to fine dining and down-home living, where around-the-clock security and peace of mind are always at your fingertips. And front row seats to the best shows, they're included. We call it Chateau on the Ridge. You can call it home. Call or visit today to get the whole scoop.
Through the years, First National Bank has created memories, starting new relationships, handing over keys and responsibilities, planning for the future, and building foundations, realizing dreams and destinations, sharing a lifetime of memories. First National Bank.
Do you need insurance? If the answer is yes, let Chris Robinson and his staff at Chris Robinson's Insurance Agency handle your needs. Whether it's auto, life, business, or planning for your retirement, Chris Robinson's Insurance Agency is ready to serve you and your family. come by Chris Robinson Insurance Agency, 1211 West Court Street in Paragould.
And the clock ran out with the Indians ahead 78-76. This is Dick Clay reporting from Indian Fieldhouse.
That was footage of you from, it had to be before 1987 because it was from Indian Fieldhouse, and you were wrapping up coverage of a game there, and there's all kinds of stuff like this out there on people's VHS tapes that they don't even know they have that are up in their closet or sitting on a shelf somewhere. I would love to get my hands on a lot of this stuff.
That guy was a young guy. Whoever that was, you
Whoever
just
that
shot.
was. It was you, man.
Oh, okay. All right.
More with Dick
He's
Clay.
a young'un. He was a young'un.
He's just if it was sports, it was Dick Clay on Region 8.
I enjoyed every
so many
moment
years.
of it. I really did.
You had some questions?
Yeah. What was your favorite sport to cover out of all the sports?
I got football. No doubt about it. Football is my favorite sport. If everything is wiped off the TV except football, I'd be okay. Now, I love the other sports, but I like them when they got to, it's one of those man things or something. I don't know what it is, but
does your wife like football?
Yes, she loves football. Really does. She likes basketball. Now, ironically, I was better at basketball when I played than I was football, but I always loved it.
Tell us where you played at.
I played at Portageville, Missouri.
In Portageville.
In Portageville.
See, I didn't know that. That's why I asked that question, because I didn't know that.
As a matter of fact, we were undefeated for 3 straight years up there during the time. Donald Hawkins was our quarterback up there, and Vic Reeves. The field is up there named Vic Reeves Field.
Yeah.
He was our coach.
Wow.
We were undefeated for 3 years.
That's
so
pretty good stuff.
KAIT went on the air in 1963, were you in Portageville at that time when they first came on the air?
No. I was probably in service at the time. I joined the Air Force out of high school, and was in the service for 3 years over in Japan mostly. And when I came back, I worked in a lot of jobs before I really got settled down.
Now, out of all the athletes that you ever interviewed, now you talked about Ted Williams, but that really wasn't a real interview. I mean, that was just something where y'all ran into one another. Yeah. But out of all the athletes, especially the ASU athletes, who was maybe the best, or should I say the greatest athlete that you've seen play from ASU, or you interviewed, or maybe went on to further their career professionally?
I'm going to say that I'm going to put Earl Bell there. Earl Bell is at the top of the heap when it comes to athlete in his particular sport, and he's still, coaching, and he's still doing a great job. Earl and very smart, and he's not conceited at all. And Earl Bell, as far as just a total sports thing, Earl Bell is the somebody asked me, said, what are your best athlete of the whole bunch? And there's a couple of people that you wouldn't even think, but Clovis Sweeney, I don't know if you remember Clovis Sweeney.
Yes, I do.
Clovis Sweeney was the best athlete I've ever ran in contact. He played, nobody knows it, but he played basketball, football, anything on the football team. And he was I'm not going to say mean, but he would hit you. He would really hit you. And a lot of people think that's kind of odd, me saying that. But I asked a guy one time, I said, you guys had a lot of nicknames for people. And you call this guy Honk, and this guy Big Boy, and this guy so-and-so. And then Bergie, you called him Big Guy, Big Alligator, or whatever. I said, what do you call Sweeney? He said, Mr. Sweeney.
That's great.
And that says it. That
says it all right there, doesn't it?
As far as
well respected.
Yeah, as far as one that could play all sports, Sweeney was one. He could play all sports. But here's one that's going to surprise a lot of people. Gene Bradley of Nettleton could play everything. He was a great basketball player.
I was a fraternity brother with Gino.
Okay. All right. Well,
I know all about Gino. He was the quarterback for ASU.
Yeah.
And he played on He could pitch.
He played Major League.
Yeah. He made it to the USFL. with the was it the Washington or no, the Buffalo. I don't remember.
I'll tell you later.
Okay, tell me later. But anyway, he did make it to the big time.
Oh, he could have made it in about 3 different sports.
Yeah.
He really could.
There's 2 legends right there, Dave.
Okay, write that down because I won't remember.
I'll remember. Earl Bell, or
Earl Bell,
Bell,
Yep, Earl Bell,
and Geno Bradley. Yeah. So there's 2 more for us.
Yeah, absolutely, and they really do earn the legendary thing. They really
and they both live right in Jonesboro.
Yeah. And,
sure do. Hadn't seen Geno in years.
Only recently, I think.
Yeah.
So, next year, KAIT is going to celebrate their 50th anniversary.
Golly, it's a long time.
You were a huge part of that. Surely you're going to go up there and help them celebrate.
I'm just going to take credit for, they got their football Friday night. I'm going to.
You invented football Friday night.
Right, I was one started it, but football Friday night instead of Friday night football. Have you ever thought about that?
That's right. Oh, yeah.
Everybody had Friday night football. And when I started, I found enough cameras and enough cameramen to do it. I said, we're not calling it Friday night football. We're going to call it Football Friday Night.
And they're still using that title today.
Yeah, it still sounds a little bit silly, but hey.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
No, it was different.
What do you think about Chris Hutchinson and Blake Gwynn? What they do on Friday night?
The current Channel 8 sports team.
Oh yeah, they do fine.
They're pretty good, aren't they?
Yeah, they are good, and they don't overdo it.
No.
And they both are really serious about it, and I like that. I think that news people should be serious about their work, and I also think that the sports guys should be serious about their work.
And they bring some fun, and they bring some energy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And they don't get what I call silly.
Right.
They don't get silly. And
like some of those on ESPN
there
do.
You go. There you go. That's what that was my no. Don't be silly.
Well, I won't ask you more questions. That was my 3, and we kind of walked right into the last one there about Hutchinson and Gwynn. But anyway,
I want to talk about the show that he did immediately after retiring from KAIT. You went right into your own outdoors show, Dick Clay Sports Magazine,
right?
Which we showed a few clips of just a few minutes ago. You did that for 7 years after you left Channel 8.
Yeah, and I loved it. See, I always loved filming things. I love to film things. I love to edit things, and the only way you can do that is if you got your own show and you're going to shoot it and you're going to put it together and everything. That kind of right it down my alley, and so that's what I did.
And it wasn't just fishing; it was anything that had to do with outdoors. You were on top of it,
right? As a matter of fact, I went to a gun place where they trick guns. They trick guns up. I know that hunters know what I'm talking about. And I went over and did a 30-minute show on that. I think it was over at Batesville or someplace like that. But mostly it was fishing. And what we did on the fishing show, our idea was, we're going to go fishing, and we're not going to catch that big fish twice. So you will always see us when we catch a big fish. You will see us drop it back into the water.
Yeah, I didn't see you keep any fish when the footage that I looked at.
Because what you can do if you catch that big fish, you can put it down there and let it wobble for a while, put it on a hook, throw it back out there, and oh my gosh, there's another big fish.
Got another one.
I'm not saying that they do that.
You're telling your secrets now.
No, not my secret.
Oh, okay.
My secret was that we didn't do that.
You're telling the secrets of some of them. Okay.
That we never caught the same fish twice.
That's great. Well, and we're going to be talking to we're going to be talking to Bill Dance next week. I'm going to ask him if he ever did that.
Bill Dance, the guy, he was the guy. He is the one that you copy after. I promise you.
And I'm looking forward to having him on, but not as much as forward as I've been looking to having you on. My gosh.
Come on.
Because you have every story. You know everything. You know where the bodies are buried. I'm telling you.
I'll tell you what I do know. I do know that I found out this a long time ago that Dick Clay, that legend stuff and stuff, not special. I've been doing what I like to do. And if you can do that in life, hey, you got it whipped. And I've had it pretty well whipped.
I want to let people know that in our conversations prior to this interview, when we were talking about Dick Clay Sports Magazine, you have very graciously offered us all 7 years of that program to air here on your primetimesports.com.
I've got most of them, and all y'all have to do is take the commercials out. And but now I want to tell you, some of the commercials in there are pretty funny.
Yeah.
Because I haven't seen them in such a long time. But yeah, because mainly I want my old buddies, Daryl Guerin and Danny Davis and all that bunch. I want them.
Those are the guys that did the show with you.
Yeah. They without them, I couldn't have had the show because I knew nothing about fishing, and they had the jet pump boats, and you got to have a jet pump boat, and they were the guys that put it together for me.
Are you still playing golf?
No. You know why? Because I am no good. I cannot.
Oh, come on. I saw some great shots in some of this footage I've been looking at.
The truth of the matter is, though, I used to be pretty good, but I can't get consistent, and if you can't do it really, really well, you need to, find something else to do for that time.
I bet you his hobby's Pat now.
Pat is my life.
There you go.
She keeps him busy.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, absolutely.
She's a sweetheart, Clifton. I got to talk to her for a while, too. She's just adorable.
Well, maybe I'll get to run into her at an ASU basketball game or something.
Hey, I'll promise you, and I'll bring her right up there, too. But then I'll bring her back.
Okay.
Because she is great.
We want to take one more break and come back and wrap things up with Dick Clay. So we'll be back in a couple more minutes, and we will we'll wrap things up with you. I'm just pleased as I can be to have you on the show.
Well, I'm pleased to be here. I hope it's made any sense to anybody.
Hey, we may have you back. You got more things to talk about than we can do in just one show.
I'm going to approve that now.
Okay, yeah, thanks. I appreciate that. We'll take a break and be back on your primetimesports.com.
You get big-time savings and hometown service. Always a bed, Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, and Ram. At Baird, there's a difference you will clearly see. You're always a VIP. Saving service, great selection too. Baird does it all for you.
Do you need insurance? If the answer is yes, let Chris Robinson and his staff at Chris Robinson's Insurance Agency handle your needs. Whether it's auto, life, business, or planning for your retirement, Chris Robinson's Insurance Agency is ready to serve you and your family. Come by Chris Robinson Insurance Agency, 1211 West Court Street in Paragould.
Retirement? It's never looked so good. Welcome to Chateau on the Ridge Assisted Living in Paragould, Arkansas. Say hello to fine dining and down-home living, where around-the-clock security and peace of mind are always at your fingertips. And front row seats to the best shows, they're included. We call it Chateau on the Ridge. You can call it home. Call or visit today to get the whole scoop.
Make the switch now to no-fee banking.
First National Bank provides me with totally free checking, and as a business owner, that helps keep my customers satisfied.
At First National, there are no fees and no hassles. Express yourself by choosing a debit card that fits your personality.
I switched my bank to First National because of no monthly debit card fees. Are you ready to switch?
First National Bank, the working bank for working people. Member FDIC.
Let us show you how easy switching can be.
Welcome back to your primetimesports.com. We've been talking with him for a while now this morning. This is Dick Clay, the former sports director at Region 8 News at KAIT in Jonesboro. Do you ever go back and just go up to the TV station and hang out with some of the folks and just watch what they're doing and just visit?
I've been out there a couple of times, and really, I want to tell you the truth, I don't know many people out there anymore.
Well, there's only one that I can think of off the top of my head that is still there, that was there the day you left, and that's Diana Davis.
Diana Davis, as a matter of fact, we talk on the phone quite frequently. I'm checking with her kids, and she's checking with my grandkids and Pat and all that kind of stuff. So we still talk frequently. Yeah.
Do you ever wake up one morning and miss it and say, man, I wish I was still doing it?
And I'm going to tell you, because I do this other stuff, you know, and started that other show and stuff, that took care of all that. And as a matter of fact, it's more fun than what I used to have, because I'm kind of like my own boss, and people that are not their own bosses can kind of understand that. But I can do what I want to do, and I just have more fun doing it. The other became work. I mean, if you're doing 6 and 10, you are working a lot, and you're not seeing your family.
And he did his last show at 6, so he wouldn't have to come back and do the 10.
That's it. Hey, exactly. Sure did.
And I was looking at that. I'm going to try and upload your final sports broadcast in 1998 on our YouTube channel for people to see.
Oh, okay. That would be interesting, to say the least.
Well, people forgotten. You know, it's been, 15 years, 14, 15 years.
That was quite. That really surprised me. An old cotton chopper from southeast Missouri and all that going on. You know, the governor talking and all that. Hey, I said, who are they talking about here? You know, what's the deal? Oh, I always just liked my work and liked what I was doing, and I was trying the best I could, and that's all you can do. And if you're kind of satisfied with that, I think you're pretty satisfied.
Well, I have one last question.
Yeah.
Tell us your greatest memory. Out of all the interviews, if you can think of one off the top of your head, I know you may have several, but
I think the greatest memory, and we didn't even talk about this, but in 1970, I was the first state director for Special Olympics, and what happened that year, they had a International Special Olympics, and we all got together, went to Chicago, took our best to Chicago, and Eunice Kennedy Schreiber was in charge of everything, and I had called her on the phone and told her to be at the Little Rock if she could. She called back and said, I will be there, Dick. So I got to introduce her to Arkansas, and I also took her to the governor's mansion where she was going to stay. And I said, they're having a little party for you here, and she said, Dick, I want to go see the kids. And
well, that's obviously an emotional memory, and probably pretty neat to meet Miss Kennedy of the Kennedy family.
Oh, absolutely. And the deal is that it was the kids. It wasn't the drums beating and stuff.
Right. All about the kids.
Yeah.
Which is what we all try to do, isn't it?
Hey,
all about the kids.
Yeah.
Well, that's an awesome memory.
I can't thank you enough for coming on and being a part of our Legends series. And I don't want this to be the only time that we see you on your Primetime Sports. Now that you know about us,
hey, you guys,
you may be calling us and saying, hey, what do you want to do this week?
I'm going to tell you, I'm amazed at this kind of stuff. Got a little thing here and all that, and I'm looking at myself in 4 different places, got a nice camera, and a good conversation. Hey, it's wonderful. It's modern and stuff.
Dick Clay, folks, thank you so much. I appreciate you a lot.
Appreciate you.
All right, we're going to take another break and come back with our final guest of the day on Double G Sports Talk Saturday here on YourPrimetimeSports.com.
You get big-time savings and hometown service. Always a bed, Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, and Ram. At Baird, there's a difference you will clearly see. You're always a VIP. Saving service, great selection too. Baird does it all for you.
Retirement? It's never looked so good. Welcome to Chateau on the Ridge Assisted Living in Paragould, Arkansas. Say hello to fine dining and down-home living, where around-the-clock security and peace of mind are always at your fingertips. And front row seats to the best shows, they're included. We call it Chateau on the Ridge. You can call it home. Call or visit today to get the whole scoop.
Make the switch now to no-fee banking.
First National Bank provides me with totally free checking, and as a business owner, that helps keep my customers satisfied.
At First National, there are no fees and no hassles. Express yourself by choosing a debit card that fits your personality.
I switched my bank to First National because of no monthly debit card fees. Are you ready to switch?
First National Bank, the working bank for working people. Member FDIC.
Let us show you how easy switching can be.
Do you need insurance? If the answer is yes, let Chris Robinson and his staff at Chris Robinson's Insurance Agency handle your needs. Whether it's auto, life, business, or planning for your retirement, Chris Robinson's Insurance Agency is ready to serve you and your family. Come by Chris Robinson Insurance Agency, 1211 West Court Street in Paragould.
Welcome back. YourPrimetimeSports.com. Boy, I tell you what, that was a great interview with Dick Clay. And he's one of the reasons why it's named the Legends Series, because he is definitely a legend. Our final guest of the day, we have about 25 minutes left in the show. We're going to try and spend all 25 minutes with this next guest. He is the head coach of this year's 5A East champions, on his way to the playoffs, the Wynne Yellowjacket head coach, Chris Hill. Thank you so much for making the drive.
Oh, I'll tell you, I'd appreciate it. I'm just glad to be on.
And, of course, you had an undefeated season, headed into the playoffs. You have been the team to beat last night. Somebody almost got you. We were shocked at the score. We'll talk about that in a little while. We want to talk about the progression that your team has made. This is what, your second year as the head coach there? That's correct. We have lost his microphone. Can you look down there and see if we can plug him back in? It must have came unplugged, same way yours did a while. There you are.
All right.
You're back.
Back.
So this is your second year as the head coach of the Wynne Yellowjackets. You have implemented your system. This was a running team for decades. Now Coach Hill comes along, spread offense all over the field, ball in the air all the time. Coach Campbell is probably scratching his head going, my gosh, where did this come from? But you've got a 10-0 record with that offense.
Yeah, I'll tell you, it was a big change. Been here to make my second season. The first year, I was here for the spring before spring of 11, so I got to get spring practice in. But it was a big change. They've been a predominantly run team and been very successful doing it. So when you come in and you try to make a change, one you got to teach the kids a new scheme and pass coverage and routes and how to attack coverages, and then you got to convince them that this is better than what you were doing. And I'm not going to say it's better than what you were doing, it's just different. But the kids, I feel like we're a lot more comfortable in our scheme this year than what we were last year, and that was evident by a lot of the results of a lot of 7-on-7s and team camps this summer. So, but it's been a fun year. It's been a good year. We got some good kids, and when you got good kids, it makes your job easy. It makes your job fun.
Let's talk about some of these. You up until last night, with the exception of Batesville, maybe Forrest City for a little while, nobody's really come close to you guys. You guys have been just blowing people away. And are your guys that much more athletic than some of these teams that you have seen, or is it coaching, or is it both? What are we looking at in Wynne right now?
Well, I don't think it's coaching for sure, but I think our kids play hard. Offensively, every defense has a strength, every defense has a weakness, and I think our kids have done a good job of understanding how to attack each defense. I thought we did up until the last two ball games. Like I said, we struggled a little bit the last two games, but when you look back, I was a little frustrated. And you look back, we had 7 starters out last night. We had 7 starters out against Forrest City.
Well, that explains a lot.
It does. That's not making excuses, because we had some young kids that stepped up and really did a great job for us. Started a sophomore at center the last 2 ball games and has not had a bad snap yet. Young guys at corner and moving some guys around. So, we just kind of have the motto, next man up. If one guy goes down, we get the next man up. But, we sure would like to get our starters back here in the playoffs, and hopefully we can do that.
Let's talk about Batesville.
Okay.
We were at that game. We broadcasted that game live here on Your Primetime Sports. That game was tied a couple of different times, and it took the fourth quarter for you guys to pull away from them. You guys weren't doing anything different. It was just that you were playing against Batesville.
Batesville's an outstanding football team. Coach King has in my opinion, probably at least top 3 programs in the state in 5A. Has done a great job over there, and those kids play hard, and they're physical, they're aggressive, And they're a very good football team, and they're going to make some noise in the playoffs. We played them over last year, and they jumped on us pretty good. And this year we went to the game knowing, we're telling the kids all week long, this is going to be a 4-quarter game. And it's like it was tied 20-20 at halftime. It was tied 27-27 going to the fourth, and then we was able to get a lead. Get a touchdown up, and then actually scored one with about a minute left there on the fourth down play. But it was a hard-fought ball game, a very physical game, and a very emotional game for us. But it was a huge win. We felt like that was going to be the deciding game in the conference championship.
Everybody thought that, Coach. Everybody thought that game right there was the conference championship game, and they were right. And, of course, you can see that game, folks, live, or I say actually live, as a replay on our channel on yourprimetimesports.com. We had the whole game from the kickoff to the end. And you probably didn't know that either.
No, I didn't. I'll watch it. Sure will.
So, now, from the Batesville game forward, things have been getting just a little bit tougher for you guys. The Forrest City game was another one that was kind of a battle.
Sure was. Forrest City, they are very athletic. Coach Terrell has done a great job of keeping those kids together. After you have an 0-for season last year, you worry about kids quitting and kids getting disgusted and frustrated. But he's done a great job keeping those kids together. And as far as when they get off the bus, they're very impressive. Defensive end 6'5" and 6'6", outside linebacker 6'5". Guys that can run, guys can catch the ball, guys can make things happen. And being that close to win, that's always a big rivalry. And I was talking to a guy from Greenbrier last night, kind of them and Bologna's big rivalry. Greenbrier's undefeated, and Bologna I think got the 4th seed in the West. But that was a knockdown drag out Thursday night. And being that close, that's always adds a little fuel to the fire. And it's a physical game, and boy, they come in and played hard. And it was a fight to the end. Really that score there. 39-21, the game was a lot closer than what the score was. We got a pick there late to put the game out of reach. But that was another hard-fought ball game. But we go into that game again we start with 5 starters out, and then the Selby kid gets hurt there in the 4th quarter. And he's a 2-way starter, so you got to count him twice. And that puts us at 7. But again, like I said, had some young kids step up, did a great job for us, and just proud of those kids. Being ready to play, paying attention during the week in practice, and being ready to contribute on Friday night.
So that was the story coming into last night's game with Nettleton. 7 starters out, and we didn't realize that, and we kept looking down at that score, and you guys were behind a couple of different times. We thought it had to be a mistake, and it was not. You guys actually came from behind to win that game last night, 23-17. And were you worried at all during that?
Oh, just a little bit. Yeah, I tell you, they scored a 3rd play of the game on a 70-yard run, and we've not given up a long run all season. And we got lined up late, and our outside backer didn't maintain leverage, and their corner got sucked inside, and they hit the sideline, and we can't catch them. You say earlier about our kids. I think our kids play hard. I think they play fast and do a good job of reading their keys, but we're not going to win any track meets. We don't have the speed that they had back in 2000 and those years, but we talk to our kids about playing fast. If we'll get our keys and get our reads right, then we look like we're actually faster than what we are. So, the kids do a good job of that. But, yeah, as far as being worried last night, you bet. It was a dogfight. I think we scored with about 5 minutes left or whatever it was, and I was able to take the lead. But, it was a nail-biter, sure was.
All right, what we're going to do is we're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about the playoffs.
Sounds good.
All right, we'll be back with more from Coach Hill from the Wynne Yellowjackets on yourprimetimesports.com.
You get big-time savings and hometown service. Always a bed, Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, and Ram. At Baird, there's a difference you will clearly see. You're always a VIP. Saving service, great selection too. Baird does it all for you.
Retirement? It's never looked so good. Welcome to Chateau on the Ridge Assisted Living in Paragould, Arkansas. Say hello to fine dining and down-home living, where around-the-clock security and peace of mind are always at your fingertips. And front row seats to the best shows, they're included. We call it Chateau on the Ridge. You can call it home. Call or visit today to get the whole scoop.
Make the switch now to no-fee banking.
First National Bank provides me with totally free checking, and as a business owner, that helps keep my customers satisfied.
At First National, there are no fees and no hassles. Express yourself by choosing a debit card that fits your personality.
I switched my bank to First National because of no monthly debit card fees. Are you ready to switch?
First National Bank, the working bank for working people. Member FDIC.
Let us show you how easy switching can be.
Do you need insurance? If the answer is yes, let Chris Robinson and his staff at Chris Robinson's Insurance Agency handle your needs. Whether it's auto, life, business, or planning for your retirement, Chris Robinson's Insurance Agency is ready to serve you and your family. Come by Chris Robinson Insurance Agency, 1211 West Court Street in Paragould.
There I am. Hey, welcome back to YourPrimetimeSports.com. We are in our final 15 minutes of the show or so, and we are visiting with Coach Hill, Chris Hill, the head coach of the Wynne Yellowjackets. We're having a good talk with him about how his season has gone so far, and now we're going to talk about what is to come. You're in the playoffs. You've got home field advantage throughout. The championship road runs through Wynne, and the only time you'll leave Wynne is if you make it to Little Rock.
Right. Yeah,
Watson Chapel in the first round.
Absolutely.
Talking about injuries, how many of those guys that are injured are going to be back in time for the game with Watson Chapel?
Well, we think we'll get one or two back for sure. Three of them are two-way starters. And if there's three guys hurt, but we lose 6 positions.
Sure.
So, we had to have new guys in there. Joe Stampley didn't play last week, didn't play last night, rather. And Joe's been playing outstanding. He's a threat at receiver. He's been playing good. We moved him to corner this spring, and boy, done an outstanding job at corner. He's 6'3", 4'5" guy. 38-inch vertical. Great athlete. He had a concussion last week against a mild concussion against Forrest City. So he wanted to play last night, but the doctors hold him out, so he'll clear him Monday. So we should have Joe back. Josh Selby. He's day to day. Was a sprained MCL, so he's we have to kind of wait to see on him. Blake Manis, our starting center, got hurt in practice the other day, and we try to make it a point of staying off the ground in practice. He fell on the ground and landed on his elbow and actually hurt his shoulder. He wanted to play last night, but he still can't. He has trouble getting his shoulder pads on and off, so it'd be kind of hard to block if you can't use but one arm.
I would think so.
So we may get him back. He wants to play. Drayden Willis has been hurt, has a thigh bruise. He's missed the last few ball games, so he's questionable. But got a chance to get 2 or 3 of them back. Probably the biggest question mark is Selby, though.
Okay, so you talk about some of the other players on the team that are helping to add to the success of the Wynne Yellowjackets, but you don't hear their names that often.
I tell you, we you look defensively. You look at our tackle chart, and our tackle chart is led by 2 sophomores, Roy Like, linebacker. Sam Backer, he's leading our tackle chart. Thinking about Roy, and I talked to the 9th graders yesterday. Roy didn't even start last year as a 9th grader for the junior high team, but has really got in the weight room, has worked hard. He's a 270-pound power cleaner as a sophomore, physical kid, tough kid, and Roy's had a good season. DeAndre McGill, our sophomore nose, I think he had 12 tackles last night, 4 for a loss, 1.5 sacks, and a fumble recovery at the end. He's an outstanding football player. Not very big, 175, 180 pounds, fairly strong. He's a 265 power cleaner. But he's played well. I thought last night our front, Tony Jones, he played wide receiver for us last year. Big kid, 6'5", 6'6". We moved him defensive end. He played well, as did Xavier Stringfellow, Caleb Blanchett. Those guys played well on defense last night. Offensively, and that's kind of been our offense usually gets the most attention. Everybody likes to see touchdowns and see points on the board. But I tell you what, Zach Morris, we got a little sophomore receiver, number 3. He's outstanding. Has great hands, runs good routes. Kind of same way. He's not going to get in a track meet and win a 100-yard dash, but he knows how to get open.
We talk about him. We've had a couple of Wynne games already this year. We talk about him when we're there because we say, okay, Saved by the Bell in the house, Zach Morris. I bet he gets that a lot.
Yeah, that's why I said your mother must have been a big Saved by the Bell fan.
Yeah, exactly.
But I tell you what, had a good game against Batesville.
Yes,
you know,
we said his name a lot that night.
Yeah, he's an outstanding ball player. I think our offensive line has been playing real well. Been able to run the ball. You know, a lot of people think we're wide open, spread, throw it. We do throw it some, but I went back to check the stats of the day. You know, we're 63% run and 37% pass. So,
but it doesn't show that way. I mean, I'm sure that's the stat. But you guys have such big pass plays when you do have those pass plays that you come across as a passing team.
Yeah, I think, you know, we run the ball more, but I think the productivity from each run, our pass is about the same. So we've rushed about as many yards as we've thrown for. You know, when you're able to do that, then that puts the defense in a bind. And being able to do that early in the season, I said last couple of weeks have kind of slowed down a little bit, and I think a lot of that just because, you know, one thing, Nettleton's a good football team, and Forrest City's a very athletic, good football team. And then, you know, with injuries, you know, you take Sylvie out, which is a home run hitter, that hamstrings you a little bit. So had some kids step up last night. Frank and Settles got to run the ball tough last night, and that touchdown drive had 5 or 6 carries, got us in the end zone, made a great effort getting in the end zone. And you know, Franklin's a good ball player. He's a two-way starter, plays every down on offense and every down on defense. And Franklin's a tough kid, and he's a competitor. And you know, that's the type of kid we're looking for.
So we've talked about this. We've talked about this literally all season long. Whenever we talk about the Wynne Yellowjackets, as to what they were forever and what they have become. Does Coach Campbell ever come watch practice or hang out with you at all?
Well, he's come to a few games. You know, he lives in Bologna now.
I see.
And but he come to the Bologna game. He's been to a couple of our games. And
what does he say about what program, you've instituted at the Wynne program?
He don't say a whole lot about scheme wise. You know, he's still a big Wynne fan. He still loves those kids, and he's happy to see us do well.
We used to talk about this. We've talked about this on the show in the past. Years ago, when he was still the coach at Wynne, he would call Randy Rainwater in Little Rock, and the first question Randy would always ask him was, "How many passes did you throw?"
Yeah,
and he would say, we had a balanced offense. We threw 1 pass in the first half and 1 pass in the second half, and that was a balanced offense. Or he'd say we threw it 1 time and it was incomplete, so we didn't do it anymore.
Yeah, I've heard him say, you know, we was 100. We threw it twice. We was 100%. We caught 1. They caught 1. And, but yeah, he's a character. Now, he's a funny guy, good guy.
Oh man, Coach Campbell. I could go on for a long time about him, but I won't. Let's talk about playoffs. What do you know about Watson Chapel?
Well, you know, Watson Chapel, boy, that's a tough first draw. You know, they've lost 3 out of the last 4.
Well, now wait a minute. They're a number 4 seed coming out of the South. Now that is a big time conference down there. Camden Fairview, the leader out of that conference. But Watson Chapel, you know, I think that they. This is just me thinking out loud. I think this is going to be a pretty easy win for you guys. You're probably not looking at it that way.
No, not at all. You know, they played Camden Fairview 21-13 last night.
Really, I did not know that. Now, see, that may change my mind a little bit.
You know, the week before they played Hot Springs Lakeside, and they rushed for 340 yards in the first half, and then come out in the second half wanting to throw the ball, and but they had 7 turnovers, and Lakeside was able to beat them 27-20. You know, so they have some athletes, and some people picked them to win the state championship. And Coach Shelton,
really,
those kids are going to be tough. They're fast, they're big. You know, we got some film on them. We'll start breaking down, but well, they're a very good football team, and it's a tough first draw. But you know, if you go make it Little Rock, you got to beat the best to get there, and you know, this kind of the way they fell out last night. You know, they could have been 3rd, but ended up being 4th. So you know, they'll come to our place, and you know, we love playing at home. We have a great crowd. Had a great crowd at Nettleton last night. You know, people in Wynne love football.
All home games for you guys the whole way through the playoffs.
Right.
And I know you don't want to look ahead of the game you got right in front of you, but people are looking at this bracket, and they're seeing you and Camden Fairview on the same side of the bracket. And there are people that are saying that the state championship game will be played in the semifinals.
Well, it could very well be. Now, you know, we just hope we're there. But, you know, the second round, you got the winner of Marlton, which is red hot. Coach McNabb does a great job over there. They said they're as talented as they've been since 05. So they've mercy ruled about their last 4 opponents. So they're playing very well. So you know, the winner of our game has the winner of Jacksonville Marlton. You know, I would love to be at home round 2. And
Marlton's your home.
Yes, it is. Yes, I coached there in 03, 4, and 5. We got beat in the state championship game in 05. Greenwood beat us 35-32. And yeah, Marlton's home. Old Devil Dog.
So if you end up having to play Marlton in the second round, boy, you're going to be awfully conflicted, aren't you?
I'll tell you what, it probably wouldn't be a very good week to be around me that week. That'll be a lot of when one is the playoff game, you want to keep on playing because now you're down to a one-game season. But, playing, still know a lot of people over at Marlton, a lot of coaches, still know a lot of the kids. And, it would be fun. It would be a fun week, and I just hope we get a chance to play them.
I guarantee you they're looking at that schedule the same way because they know you, and they know that you're probably going to be there in that second round. So they've got Jacksonville circled so that they can get past them and get to you guys.
Yeah, I've had several calls from people.
I bet you have.
And, some coaches and some fans there, some family, but we right now you really got to focus one at a time. And boy, Watson Chapel's going to be they're going to be a handful. Like I said, hopefully we'll get some kids back, get back healthy here at the right time, and and get our best back on the field and play a little better ball than we have the last 2 weeks.
Are you going to be able to reload this team for next season? Are you going to be as talented? Or are you going to be able to bounce back from such a great season?
Well, we got 22 seniors, and we got seniors play a lot of playing time. The best thing about winning is that winning breeds winning, and the expectations from those kids, especially those sophomores and juniors that that have seen us win the last 2 years. The expectations are there, and the expectations from the community are there. So we'll have some kids grow up over all season, grow up during the summer. We'll still do our team camps and 7-on-7s all summer. And, you want to get to a situation where we just have those kids, one group moves out, another group moves up. They take on the leadership role. They work hard, they develop, they mature, and, turn into good ball players. And, you may not be 10-0 every year. Nobody is. But, I feel like we can have a competitive program competing at least for a playoff spot each and every year.
Coach Hill, thank you so much for coming on with us this
Enjoyed
morning. And it's a long drive for you. I hope your wife is having fun out there shopping wherever she is right now.
Hope she's not spending any money.
Better to come back and pick you up right now. You may be here a while if she's out there in the middle of some big sale or big yard sale or something. So that's going to do it for us. Thank you so much, Coach Hill. We're going to be signing off right now. We'll be back on the air Friday night with the Wynne basketball team. You have anything to do with the basketball guys at all? You got some on your team.
I just watch them and support them.
The ones that are not playing football are already going to be playing basketball. Friday night, they're going to travel to the Brooklyn Bearcats, and we're going to have that game for you live on yourprimetimesports.com. So for Clifton Garmrath sitting right there behind the camera, and for the rest of the Your Primetime Sports family, thanks for joining us here on Double G Sports Talk Saturday. We'll see you Friday night.